Love's for beginners, ain't no winners. It slips through your fingers, I ain't telling no lies. So F all the drama, F the karma. Just do what you wanna, promise you got time. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no mama, yeah, do yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Come get your future, know you wanna. She'll never betray ya, she ain't telling no lies. So break the glass ceiling, find your meaning, make truth out of dreaming, yeah. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no mama, yeah, do yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no mama, yeah, do yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life.
Question: Did you get a chance to meet with the royal family? And if not, how was it like having them there in the building?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph?
The Prince and Princess of Wales.
Oh, no, I did not. I'm only familiar with one royal family. I don't know too much about that one.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, please. And there is the link to join the live chat if you want to come up on this stage and talk today. How is everybody doing? You know what? I think that I'm actually catching a cold. In the last, well, pretty much since, Mr. C started, I've only had one cold and been sick, and it was just a cold. Like, it wasn't the Mr. C. I somehow managed to evade it completely. But now I think I'm getting a cold again. I can feel it coming in the nose. so if in the next few days you start to hear me sounding a bit weird, you'll know why. Jessica being charged of manslaughter. What? Who? Who? Which Jessica? Not Jessica Mulroney. What's going on? Who's Jessica? Who's been charged of manslaughter? Wait, is this the Jessica that comes in the chat with us? Which Jessica, Rahini? Oh my god, I think I accidentally. Oh, did I put somebody on timeout? Oh no, Pamela Melissa Davis. I accidentally deleted you. Wait, hang on a sec. Sorry, now I've got to deal with this. In the shock of Jessica being charged by manslaughter, I've accidentally unblocked someone. Oh gosh, what have I done? Okay, I'm so sorry, Pamela. I've accidentally deleted your message, but I don't think I blocked you. I am sorry. Oh gosh. What have I done? Oh, Rahini, Alex Baldwin. Oh, that guy. Oh, that was a whole mess, wasn't it? And there was an argument as to or a debate rather as to whether or not he should be charged or the person who was responsible for the prop who should be charged. I mean, you all give me your opinion. You know, who do you think is responsible here? Do you think the studio is responsible? Do you think Alec Baldwin is responsible? You know, do you think it's the prop person who was handling? I mean, are they? I haven't actually followed the story, to be honest, so I don't really know what's going on. You know, was the other person charged as well? If Alex Baldwin didn't know that, you know, there was something wrong with the device, should he be charged? You give me your opinion because I haven't followed it, so I can't make an opinion that I haven't followed. But condolences to the family because what a horrible thing to go through. You know, your loved one just goes to work, and then you hear that they've died on the job. Let's see. But thank you everyone for joining us. Right. Anyway, let's start with some good news. The good news is that I have been trying new recipes. I tried, everyone, pesto, mozzarella, and tomato chicken cutlets. Right, on one side of this, the really nice looking photo is you know, from the recipe website. The other one, which looks a bit janky, is like mine, but it actually did come out pretty nice. I just need to be able like learn how to roll the cutlets properly. Need some work on my presentation. Lauren, are you in the chat? Please give your good sis some critique. That is a good news. I'm getting better at cooking. Also, Harry is now a New York Times bestseller, and his memoir has sold 3.2+ million copies globally in its first week of sale, according to its publisher. BookScan reported US print sales of over 630,000 copies, while in the UK, Nielsen BookScan reported over or just under 500,000 copies. Incredible. And where is the official tweet from the publisher here? And Harry now joins his wifey as a New York Times bestseller. Meghan was a New York Times bestseller for The Bench. And I'm sure she will get that title for a second time as and when she decides to release her memoir or whatever else it is she's going to be working on next. Right, go to your comments before we carry on. I mean, it's just so funny that all of these polls, have you all seen the polls this last week? So now that the royal Rotarats cannot be called upon and are becoming increasingly, or people are starting to realize that they're not trustworthy, now that they're going to the polls. Can't call royal experts, can't call body language experts anymore. I think at one point they were rolling out psychics and tarot readers. None of that is working, so here we come with the polls. Rahini said it's a prop person because she was not qualified. So if she was not qualified, is the studio then also responsible for not hiring somebody that was qualified? B. Thomas, you don't think Alex should be charged? Jessica, you think that the prop person should be the one responsible? But he's charged for involuntary manslaughter. I think some other person has been charged as well. So how long is he going to get for that? Cinderella, pound the cutlets flat between clear up. That will make them easier to roll. Thank you. That is actually a really good tip. I have to get a pounder, or maybe use like the back of a pan or something. Gail Lewis, totally ridiculous. They're living in a bubble. The rest of the world is now watching them and shaking collective heads. Yes. Shaking collective heads while reading Harry's memoir. I mean, a lot of these polls are very biased. I do think that they poll very specific people, and the number of people that they poll is usually only a couple hundred, or like less than 1,000 usually. So it's not really a true reflection of how people are feeling, and definitely not a reflection of the extent to which people might be actually changing their minds after the last 6 years of propaganda. Sherry, where didn't the UK poll have only 900 participants? Yeah, it's usually around that much. And actually, isn't either Camilla's her nephew or her brother, somebody in her family works for YouGov, which does the polls? Dark, you said I can't watch those body language. Do you know what? I have never watched any of those videos. Never watched them. I stay away from them. A lot of you mention them in the comment section quite frequently. I don't watch them, guys, and I don't think you should either. Oh, there's the link to the chat again, by the way, if you didn't catch it the first time. Right. Also, Archie's former nanny, she was on the Breakfast Club, and they were interviewing her. Now, I haven't watched the full interview. They only released a small clip, but from the small clip that I saw, she spoke very positively of the couple and her experience. Of course, she was in the documentary as well. There she is, holding Archie in Zambia, we call it a chitenge. I think there's different names for it in different parts of the continent. Some places they call it a mudcloth. Some places they just call it a wrap. We call it chitenge. And this is exactly how my mum used to carry me. So how wonderful for Archie that he got that experience with a very caring and loving nanny who cared not just for Archie, but for the Sussexes as well. So I haven't watched the interview yet, but I will watch it in full and then get back to you about what she said. Unless any of you watch the interview, and then you can put in the comment section what she said. Somebody said, wait, who was it? Oh, Jessica. Oh, hang on a sec, sorry. Sorry, the apartment that I'm staying in is very lovely, but it backs onto a very busy street because I'm like right in the center of town. So there's like loud noises all the time. Jessica, you said they're probably polling the same people every week. Yes. Claudia Sims, the tabloids will soon become obsolete. I think so as well. I think that by the end of the next court case for the Daily Fell, and by the time the Sun has finished paying out all of the claimants for phone hacking, I think they will both go down. And I think this is why they're starting all these online news sites and TV shows like Talk TV, GB News, because they know that the print tabloids and even some of the online are getting less and less viewers. Elaine is Camilla's nephew. Thank you for confirming. Right. Yes, Faith Miller. The nanny was so cute in the docuseries. Cinderella. I'm surprised that Harry didn't mention the fire in Archie's room in his book. Maybe that was cut. Well, it came out anyway. So, I mean, like you said, there was like what 800 pages that were cut out. So there's definitely there's got to be a whole nother book coming. Oh, hi Edith, how are you? Always nice to see you, dear. Thank you for being here with us today. Hope you're doing well. Right. Here. Okay, next funny story. Elizabeth Arden is making the pennies. Harry let us all know about his frozen peen and what he did to heal his frozen peen. It was the Elizabeth Arden 8-hour cream. I have tried this once and I found it quite thick and sticky, but is a beauty favorite for a lot of people. And like anything the Sussexes touch, including the furniture, the sales have gone up, and they had, I think, like a 1-hour special on QVC just for this cream. Elizabeth Arden making their pennies. Also in other countries, Spare is dominating the bestsellers list. The German edition, 100k books sold. Does anybody know the population of Germany? Let me have a look. Population of Germany. Oh, wow. There's like 83 million. There's a lot of people in Germany. Wow. Okay, well that's still pretty impressive. Very impressive. I mean, if 100k books in the first week in Germany. So do you think maybe we could get to 1 million in Germany? That would be pretty impressive. Wow, I didn't know that there were that many people in Germany. And also in France, they've also had a record-breaking book launch, and they are reprinting to be able to deliver on time to the bookstores that order from them. So Germany, France, also seeing great book sales. Fantastic. Back here in the UK, Jeremy Clarkson has been axed by the host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Now, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the ratings were dropping anyway. Let me just say that. And I think at the height of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, I used to watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire when Chris Tennant was on it. That's the other guy you see there. I think at the height of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, it was like 19 to 20 million viewers a night. It was one of the most popular shows in the UK. And I think more recently that has dipped to about 4 or 5 million. And Jeremy Clarkson hasn't really helped to get those figures back up to where they were going to be. So me personally, yes, do I think the whole situation with Meghan and what he said, did that contribute to this? But I feel that if he was getting them the ratings that they wanted, I think they would have kept him. But the ratings have been dipping for some time, and they probably just don't want to risk, those ratings dipping even more. So there's that. Also, Peter Andre. Peter Andre was, I think it was on Good Morning Britain, and he said that, Harry was publicly trashing his family and throwing them under the bus. Peter Andre, when he was married to Katie Price, this is his ex-wife, Katie Price. They were actually, this right here that you're seeing on the screen, this was one of the most famous couples in Britain. For those of you that don't know anything about UK celebrity culture, this was peak 90s, 2000s celebrity culture. This was one of the most talked about weddings in the UK. And I think they had quite a few seasons of a reality TV show. So Peter Andre is no stranger to putting his life out there. And the couple also had a very, very messy divorce. So I don't know why he thinks he can speak on Harry speaking about his experiences. When Peter Andre and Katie Price got married, I do remember in her wedding speech, one of the first people that she thanked was the tabloids and the magazines for increasing her bank balance before she thanked anyone else. They got divorced 5 years later. So I think Mr. Andre needs to mind his business. I don't know. Maybe he wants an OBE. I actually don't have any beef with Katie Price though. To be honest, she's been an amazing advocate for children with disabilities. She doesn't really have beef with anyone that I can remember. So I don't know why Peter Andre wants to start beef with Harry. Very random, but hey, they have to get anyone to attack the Sussexes, right? Only other thing I wanted to mention before I go to calls, I can see Lauren and Melissa in the background there. Omid tweeted this. He said, the story in Finding Freedom about Meghan's security training was first debunked in 2021 during her Mel Court case. Came as a surprise to me because it was a palace official who confirmed it to my co-author and I. His co-author being that Carolyn Durant woman who seems to have like disappeared while enjoying her money and letting Omid take all the heat. But as Harry writes, it's nonsense he wished was true. There were a number of lies fed by certain staff, which we didn't include due to fact check fails. So there were staff feeding Omid lies. Things to make the institution look better. Seeing the inner workings of the palace so close up during that storm was fascinating. An experience I look forward to sharing in Endgame. Oh, Omid's gonna go there. Omid's gonna go there, and I can't wait to read it. I think it comes out, what, August? Is it August 3rd? Right, I'm gonna go through just a couple of your comments, and then I'll start taking calls. Rohini, even if you don't like Harry, the book is a really good story and entertaining read. Yes, and there's so many people who have said this, that it is just a good book. And yes, it is very well written. April, you said, one of the Barnes & Noble in my town has their whole window display with the spare book and also book showcasing their wedding, Omid's book, and one picture of Will, Peg, and Kate. I had to take a pic. Oh, wow. Send it to me on Instagram then. Duchess of Success Official. I don't know, why would the Sussexes care about polls when they're not running for public office? Exactly. Not yet, at least. I don't think that Meghan will ever run for... do I think no, I don't think she'll ever run for president. I think that would be too much. But maybe like mayor, governor? Meghan is the governor of California. I can see that. Everybody, please send your prayers to Edith, please. Please keep her in your prayers. And thank you so much for coming today, Edith. I can imagine it has been such a struggle for you since the passing of your son. And I really, I do wish you the best. You know, healing takes time. And you have to take it a day at a time. Ginger Lily. Who is this guy? I've never heard of him. Yeah, he's UK famous. He is 100% UK famous. Okay, I think I've gone through most of your comments, so let's go to calls. Melissa, you're first, dear.
Oh, hello. Sorry, I didn't know that was first in. I thought it was somebody else. Hello, how are you?
I'm great, thanks.
Wow, it's been a roller coaster of really good energy and really good what I mean, obviously there's been bad energy and stuff, but there's success is absolutely second to none. I think right now Prince Harry's having his like Cinderella moment, you know, when he's been treated badly by the ugly stepsisters, and now he's shining, and that's what he should be doing, is shining. I'm just very proud. I'm very, very happy with them. Um, oh God, I don't know what to say now. The only thing I have a problem with is that I want him to maybe maybe he's reserving a lot for the protection of him and his wife and everything else. But the only thing, I don't know, I still feel like he's protecting his family. And I don't know if that's I don't know, maybe he needs a little bit more therapy to kind of realize that, because he's still, or maybe it's just, I don't know, a publicity thing where he keeps saying that he loves his family loves him. I'm sorry, but I've read the book, honey, and your family don't love you, you know. And it's not even just that, it's just the fact that it's not just about reading the book, it's just about how the family's been treating him since he was born. Like, his dad put it out there that he was not happy with him being ginger and being a boy. He didn't. It's just, I, I,
Well, you know,
I don't. Yeah,
I think people deal with these situations in different ways, and
yeah,
what I see with Harry and this book and everything that he said is just, he simply wants the truth out there, especially when it comes to what has been said about his wife. I don't think he actually wants to hurt his family.
yeah,
I I just think he wants them to take accountability. And when when I think Harry is still trying to leave a door open for that,
mm,
because if he is, it's also with these situations, like how you deal with it, no matter how much somebody hurts you, how you deal with it also says something about you.
yeah,
And if Harry leaves a door open for accountability, he leaves a door open for them to change their ways. Nobody can ever accuse him of deliberately trying to spite his family, because then
yeah,
history will show, well, he gave his family a chance despite
yeah,
everything that they did to him and his wife. So
yeah.
that's just my analysis. I think that's
No.
what it is.
I completely agree. I think now, like, listening to this is why it's good to have platforms like this, because you can have debates. You know what I mean? It's not always agreeing. It's good to have a debate, but um, I I don't think he's going to get that accountability. Look at us, like people of color. We are now shouting loud for accountability, and they're not. You know what I mean? They're not wanting to know anything. They're not they don't want to face the actual accountability of reparations or anything like that. So it's going to be a tricky one. But at the same time, he said he wants the truth out there. He needs to show the truth. Sometimes you have to drag people out in order to in order to say, here it is, this is what you've done, and so on and so forth. But I guess sometimes just leaving it out there, or just putting it out there, is basically enough. But I think the documentary, it did an absolute incredible job, especially when it was like, it showed the actual law. It showed the actual statement, not statement, it showed the actual legal document of
Mm,
basically William actually telling Jason Nuff to actually,
yeah,
sabotage the actual court case. So I don't
yeah,
know. I just I
yeah.
just see how I don't know. It's just, and even when it comes to the coronation, I don't really want him to go, because I feel like the institution deliberately put the coronation on his son's birthday to
Okay.
airbrush the
Yeah.
first mixed race like child in everybody else's lifetime. I think it'd be better for them to snub the coronation than the coronation to, because what they're going to do, they're going to use them for views. No
Mm,
one can bring in the television views like Meghan and Harry. They're going to
yeah.
use them for views. That's what I think. I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but
Yeah.
it's just,
So,
I can see how they're trying to make them look thirsty, and I'm not saying it's working, because it's not working at all. But it's just, I'll much rather them spend their day with their son and celebrate their son's birthday than go to a coronation that nobody globally gives a flying rat's ass. Oh, sorry, nobody gives a flying monkeys. Sorry, I
No
don't want
worries.
to mess up your money, because I
Yeah.
know you do your advertising. Sorry.
No worries.
Um,
Yeah. Well, do you know what? It's
um,
it's left to be seen, and I think look, listen, I think so far I haven't. There are things that Harry and Meghan do that I don't necessarily agree with, but everything that they have done in
yeah,
the end is worked out in their favor,
it
and so
it
I trust
has.
them when it comes to their choices. But thank you
Yeah,
so
it
much,
has. It
Melissa.
has. It has. Anyway, I'll
No,
stop my rambling anyway. But
no worries.
it was nice to talk to you. I haven't spoken to you for quite some time. But
Uh,
anyway,
no
thank you. Oh,
worries.
and I'm going to be calling that mental health charity on Monday, because I thought it was absolutely disgusting and disgraceful what the lady actually said. That Meghan Markle was claiming victimhood. So are you saying that people
Oh,
with
okay.
mental health issues are claiming victimhood? So what's the point of your charity? There's no point of your charity if people are claiming victimhood. It makes no sense. I sent an email anyway, because I was not happy. But anyway, I'll come off the line. I'm rambling.
No worries. Well, make your voices be heard, and if organisations say things like that, then you should absolutely write to them and encourage others to write to them as well. Thank you so much, Melissa. All right, Lauren. Hello.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. I'm like
Uh,
super happy. It's my whole birthday weekend situation. And
it's your birthday weekend.
yes, indeed, indeed. One second, let me just take a sip of something.
No worries.
All right,
What are you
okay.
doing?
Because
What are you doing for your birthday weekend?
oh my gosh, let me just say that I can't say it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I can't
Just
say it.
send it in
That
the
sounds
DMs.
terrible. Just dial it back like two levels, but I can't say it right now.
Do you know what?
Um,
I'm laughing, but I'm ashamed of myself because my mind instantly went to something like dirty. It could just be because you're being very you know, just like maybe something that you're nice that your friends wanted to do and you don't want to say it out loud. And it's just like me having dirty thoughts.
Listen, the one thing I've learned about the squad is that dirty thoughts are always like just like 1 millimeter beneath the surface. It doesn't take too long, and frankly, I mean, more's the party. So I'm sure you're not alone.
All right. Right. Tell me what your
um,
thoughts are for the week.
all right. So thoughts. Well, what I really liked about what I'm seeing happening in relation to the worldwide reaction to the book and to what Harry's saying is in the end, I'm not seeing any actual arguments against it that to me hold much water. It feels a lot like opinion and kind of hearsay, not saying I'm a lawyer, but it kind of is a lot of, well, sources say this and then sources say that. And then when you look at Harry's book, it's like, well, his book has individual people who can directly be referenced. So you can, you know, check the credibility of what he's saying beyond his own words.
Mhm.
So what I'm liking is that when I think of it in the arc of history and the way usually in the future all you have to look back on is the hard facts, his book will hold up, and I think that's a big part of what he was trying to accomplish. So I'm very happy about that. From a
Yeah.
writing perspective, it's very evocative. I think the his voice was very clear. You heard him, and I believe it or not, I still have not listened to the audiobook. I'm just reading the words first so I can then hear. I'm just doing that separately. But
Mhm.
the fact that you can hear his words even through reading is, I think, a very impressive um it's an impressive accomplishment. So very cool. Kudos. I like that Spare will now serve as a sort of addendum, a footnote to any kind of conversation that the Rhoda or the institution um, have regarding Harry and Meghan, and the others as well. Um, they'll always have to acknowledge that there is another account that has far more inside access, directly, overtly named, face behind it. So in a way, I think this will it will haunt them for the rest of their days. And I'm kind of happy about it because at the very least it's something to kind of force a I can't say accountability because I don't know that they would take accountability, but it forces some level of that
Mm.
because there's always someone who can check with somebody who's been on the inside.
Yeah.
Um, and I guess the last thing I'll say is that it was clear to me that Harry was more woke in this book than he was in any of his interviews. He could acknowledge things and say them far more directly, as far as wealth due to slavery, etc. Um, and it to me made it even more clear that some of what we were frustrated about in the interviews where we're like, he's not really saying the thing with his whole chest, or he's not, putting his finger right on the pulse or on the button. It makes it clear to me that that was him managing his audience. Like how comedians will
Yes.
play to their audience. And so
Of
if you're
course,
in
because
one
even
go
like
ahead.
the ITV interview, right?
Mhm, mhm.
There are things that he said in the Anderson Cooper and the Good Morning America interview that he would have never said in the ITV interview because he was playing for the
Right,
UK audience.
right. Exactly, Anne, exactly. And, I think it's something that at separate points you hinted at and I would like comment about as well. Because I think, there's that moment of just trying to say, hey guys, just trust that there is more savvy here than he can even let on. And I felt like in reading the book I felt like that was shown to be the case. And it's going to be very hard for people to take what he said out of context without people then going, "Oh, well, we can read the context for ourselves." And even as they try to do that now, what you find is so many of the attacks are ad hominem. Like they're about the person, they're not about the idea. They're trying to discredit him, not trying to discredit what he said. And that just shows me that they're flailing because they lack credibility in their counter argument. So I frankly just think, this was just a coup for Harry and I mean that in a non-royal way. I think he did a great job. And kudos to the team. And also for people who want Meghan to be in this, no, no,
Mm,
no, they have lives. They're adults, they're married, but they have lives. Like,
yeah.
no. Sorry.
Mm,
It doesn't make
no
sense.
worries. All right, thank you so much, Lauren.
Of course. Thank you, and thank you.
Right. Next we're gonna go. I'm gonna go to Mary, but Ziggy from New York and Valerie, make sure that your devices are connected, please. They seem to be not connected properly. Mary, hello.
Hello.
Hi, Mary. Thanks for coming
Um,
in.
you too. Thanks for letting me speak. Um, one thing I want to say that also having a go at Harry for his book for getting his great grandmother's um death dates wrong. I'm like um I don't I don't even know when when my grandmother died. So that is another case because it has been years. So
I mean, that could have also
his
been an
grandmother
editorial
died
error.
in 2002, isn't it? 2002,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. But I mean, it
So
could
it
have
has
just also
been,
been an editorial error.
uh, yeah. And then I really enjoyed I read it twice. I listened to it twice.
Oh wow. What part
I
stood out to
finished.
you the most?
Oh, the part I keep on replaying is when he describes, because I like the birth of children. So when he describes Lily's birth, I keep on listening back to that.
Because he helped deliver Lily, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there was something I heard again from what is it? Her name. A person that I don't even want to remember her name. Piers Morgan's wife. that's the person.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, Harry and Meghan shouldn't even be running a charity. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, there seems to be a trend of these women, Piers Morgan's wife, Sarah Vine, who really should be just focusing on their own marriages.
Um, so
You still there, Mary?
yeah, I am. So I really enjoyed the book, and
Hmm.
his description of like Africa and how he first got into um the trust he's heading in Africa now.
Okay, nice. Well, you must have absolutely loved it. If you've listened to it twice already, I
Like
really hats
for
off to
me,
it.
the thing for me is that I really enjoyed it because of like the shortness of the chapters as well.
Mm,
If
mm.
it's like 20 minutes long, I turn off after some time.
Amazing. Well, hopefully I'll catch up with you because I still haven't finished it even once. But thank you so much for calling in, Mary.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye. Rahini, how are
Can you hear
you?
me?
Yeah, I can
I am
hear
I am in work, so I'm misbehaving
you.
once again.
As always.
I am misbehaving once again. So I can't. I have to be quiet. But this week was such a roller coaster of really good things.
Yeah.
And to Jeremy Clarkson, you were about to lose your job. I'm
Hmm.
loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Oh my goodness. Um, I had a lot to say about when his non-apology apology,
Yeah.
which really got under my skin. But my favorite part is when he said, usually I read what I've written to someone else, but I was home alone. This is giving me, oh my God, I'm an old man. And you left me alone with these thingamajiggers. And I was just pressing buttons. I'm an old man. You can't leave us old people with technology. How dare you? Nobody was there supervising me. Oh my goodness. Do you not understand this? I'm an old man. Yeah, didn't anybody get this, or was I the only one? Like, are you serious? You trying to tell me that you didn't think about what you were writing? Oh
Hmm.
my goodness, this man is so disgusted. And
Yeah.
up to now, he has not apologized to Megan.
Yeah.
Up to now, it's four simple words. Megan, I am sorry. But what did he do? He sent it to Harry
Harry.
because apparently England is under Sharia law, right? Because under Sharia law, a woman can't speak to a man. You can't speak to a man without giving it to her husband. You realize that? Which is so beyond degrading and demeaning, and it is absolutely ridiculous. And when did you send it? On Christmas Day, because that's what I want to be thinking about on Christmas Day. When my child is opening her toys, I want to be thinking about you,
Jeremy's like,
because
yeah.
that makes sense. That makes sense. You're an idiot. You're
Do
an
you know what?
idiot.
Even the fact that he sent it on like that says so much about him and his ego that he thinks that they would stop their wonderful Christmas day in Montecito to care about what he has to say, like as if it's some kind of present to them or something.
I know it's beyond ridiculous. And then he goes, and then at the end he goes, so can I move on now? No, you can't move on. You know what you could do? You could go away. You could go away. Collectively, squad, let's tell him what you could do. No, go away. That's what you could do because you're ridiculous. You're ridiculous. Oh, what did he say? It's hard to be interesting and vigilant. Really,
It's really not.
really,
You just don't
really.
have great jokes, mate.
I mean, what? because and the best part, oh god, the best part was when he wanted a standing ovation for not being sexist in the show. And did you notice the shameless plug that he put too? Right? He said, in our reasonably priced cars. It's like, is this apology sponsored by Toyota? Are you serious? Oh my goodness. You know, look at our cars. It is efficient and misogyny free. Buy one today. Are you serious? This fool, just go away. Just go
Yeah.
away. And at this point, there is no room in civil society for people like him.
So
There
yeah,
is none. I'm sorry. I'm at this
yeah.
point where I'm zero tolerance. Just keep
Mm.
quiet and go away. There's this idiotic idea, and I don't know if it's Gen Z that does it, but I don't want to blame you all, but there's this idea that everybody have the right to be a fool. No, you don't. You do not.
Well,
You
no,
do not.
I think everybody has the right to be a fool, but they have to understand that there are consequences when you are a fool, and that you're going to now, in the age that we're in, face those consequences.
This
But
is the thing. Your freedoms and your rights have limitations, and that is the agreement to live in civil society, because you might have the freedom to swing your arm about, but you don't have the right to hit me. You have the freedom to say what you want, but you don't have the right to slander me or to incite violence against me. You do not. Freedom come with responsibilities, especially freedom of speech. And if you decide to exercise it, then it means that you have agreed to accept the consequences and the ramifications of your words. My grandfather used to say, think before you speak and you'll never have to say you're sorry. And when you are somebody who people listen to, you have to be mindful of your words. You can't want the
yeah,
position and don't want the responsibility.
yeah,
It's
it's
absolutely ridiculous.
yeah, it's true, especially when you're one of the most prominent figures in the UK. But thank you so much, as always,
Exactly.
Rahini.
And I just want to say
You have
one
been
last thing
wonderful.
um there are few little stories about William and Kate,
Okay.
supposedly negative, but this is them testing the waters, because
Oh yeah.
I believe you are right that this hate train is gonna run out of money soon enough, and who they're
Yes.
gonna turn on? They're
William
testing
and
the
Kate.
waters. Squad, and happy birthday to Lauren. Please be careful when you are mounting. Please be careful.
Thank you so much, Rahini. Thank you always for the reminder. Um, Valerie, hello.
Good evening, good evening, Anne. Good evening, squad. And how's everybody? Hope you're well, Anne.
Fantastic. Sorry?
And hope you are well.
Yes, I am. Getting a little bit of a cold, but otherwise fantastic. Thank you so much.
Okay, right. I have to say that I'm very proud of Henry Charles Albert David Mountbatten.
Mhm.
And I think people need to understand that since he was 20 years old, he started, he said he was making a list of who's writing about him. So that was one of his early videos. Then another early video when he was talking with his brother, when the man interviewed him with his brother. I noticed how William was always still putting him down, and he said that he wants to work in Africa and be a safari guide, and also get another job. And basically, since I think when he does the parks, he does the safari thing. Sometimes I feel that with European countries, they don't understand, or they like to pretend that consequences and actions it doesn't happen. And when it happens, then they are thrown, they get angry, they're thinking Harry's living the life his mother wanted to. His mother wanted to live in California. His mother was having a relationship with a man of a non-white man. He's done that. He's gone and got married. His mother was never able to do that. And I feel that sometimes when a person dies violently, they're more when they go onto the other side, they become more lethal in that realm because they are still young. And what sometimes we fail to realize, all our ancestors, they are young. They've now become young people again. And I also another thing too, we have their genes, and then they can relive their life through us. Princess Diana was always going to, I think the sad thing with Prince Charles, I think the sad thing is with him, he's caught up in a mess which he doesn't understand, or he plays ignorant, and it's going to destroy him. And I think that and sometimes when you underestimate people, you lose. David underestimated Goliath underestimated David, and he lost. Harry's name is David. Harry is a warrior, and Rachel, his wife, she was loved by Jacob. I do feel sorry for Camilla, because I think with all the hate and the vengeance and all the court around her, it's not going to bear well with them. And I'm very, very pleased. I mean, no one thought that I knew his book would sell, but the Guinness Book of Records, I never could imagine that. That's something out of, and that is really, I would say that's really godsend, really, because it's, and I think as this last saying is, when he, and the same with William, Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall, and all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty together again. And that is what we're seeing. And I think that, and when everybody keep on saying, "Oh, she's going to bring down the," no, I don't think she's going to bring down. I think they're doing it all by themselves.
Yeah.
And the lies, and the darkness, and the having of the children, because it is alleged that when the Queen went to Canada, there was children missing, we would think. So I think
the whole scandal with the was it the indigenous children?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think, and then with Jimmy Savile, I mean, look at this. After he died, then it came out.
Yeah.
He was friends with Prince Charles. Epstein. It is also alleged that he it's a lot of dark behavior. They continue. And even Harry mentioned about slavery, which, we talked about it and how much money they made. And also when he so when he said about they've got when he talked about murder, there's a lot of stuff on his family. And
he said that in the Telegraph interview. He said that they have a lot of ish on my family.
Yes. And it's interesting how Charles wanted to give Meghan 50. He gives a divorce settlement of, he wants to give a divorce settlement of 50 million. But I mean, I thought if you get divorced, it was between him and divorce would be between him and Meghan. If he married Meghan, he's not married to Meghan. So how can he give her? How can he want to give her 50 million, and yet he couldn't afford to give her money?
I mean that was in an Australian tabloid. So sometimes they do write things like that for clickbait. I think it's becoming a bit difficult now to differentiate between what the press is leaking and what's being leaked to the press and what the press just make up. So we don't know like for sure like where that number or where, because that article wasn't in it was, I think, Australian Sky News.
Yeah, and it was reported by Sky.
Yeah. But I just wanted to ask you, Valerie, obviously we're, leading up to the coronation. What are your predictions? Do you think there'll be protests leading up? Do you think there'll be protests on the day? Do you think it will go by quite quietly? That people will make noise?
I think it's going to be, I have a strong feeling it's going to be a mixture of both. I don't know. I think something is going to happen. The coronation will go well, but something's going to happen after he gets coronated.
Okay.
After he gets coronated, something's going to happen. That's what I think. He's going to get ill or something. Something's going to happen. And he's going to start to wither the father.
Fair prediction. Thank you so much, as always, Valerie.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Bye bye. VZ. Okay, I'm not taking any more calls, by the way. So there's 3 more callers and then that will be it. Okay. So VZV, have you been on before? Hello?
Hello.
Oh, let's try again. Hello? Hello, VZ? Unmute your mic.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, sorry, I kept clicking it. I'm really under the weather a little bit. I'm trying to relax, but I can't just not listen to you. So,
Thank you.
yeah. Just wanted to talk a little bit about the polling, about why they do this, and they have to put something out for those people who want to believe that Meghan and Harry are hated, that a lot of people they want to feed to that whole idea that everybody else feels the same way as they do. And the tabloids or whoever takes these polls, they have to put it out to keep their to keep up with this game. Because
Of
if they
course.
don't put anything out in every if they start pulling, no, Harry and Meghan are actually very popular, so it's like they will die down. They are dying down anyway, but it will die down even faster. So these polls, we will see this out. We will continue to see this because that's the way to maintain that fire of hatred that they feel towards this couple. So I wouldn't even pay attention to those things because they don't mean anything. And now at this age, the time we live, we don't really believe in those things. Look at the presidential votes during 2016 here in the US. They had it totally wrong. So it's not, the polls are really not accurate. They're just not accurate. So I wouldn't even look at those things because they're just for those people who want to believe that they are in the right side. Yeah, so that's the one thing I wanted to say. I still have to go through the book. I'm probably going to listen to it, but I'm hearing a lot of good stuff. So, and it's great to see that it's doing well.
Thank you so much, VZ. And I think you're absolutely right. Those polls are to they are presented as public opinion, but actually they're created to shape public opinion. And I hope you do enjoy the book when you finally get around to it.
Yes, hopefully I'll get to it. So yeah. Well, I hope you don't get sick. If you get sick, hopefully it's not COVID, because some friends of mine have gotten COVID. They get tested with the antigen test. It doesn't come out positive, and when you get tested with the PCR, it comes out positive. Hopefully that's not what you're coming down with. Let's hope not.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. Ziggy from New. Oh no, Ziggy from New York. You have rang in before. I was like, have I seen that name before?
Yeah. I couldn't see it was some other name. You can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Welcome back, sir. How are you?
Hello, love. How are you, darling? So listen, how long have you had the book that you have not finished it yet? This is really confusing to me.
I've had it since the day it's come out, but I'm working on my own book. So that's why.
But you have hard copy or what?
No, I have audio and
You're killing me. Really?
Yeah, but do you know what?
Oh my God.
Let me tell you, writing a book is like growing a baby.
I know, I understand.
I still have to prepare for the podcast as well. So it's like I've been listening to it literally almost like half a chapter at a time. It's really bad. I'll get to it. Hopefully by the end of the week.
Do that at night while you're lying down or doing exercises or something. So, but anyway, listen, I thought I'd have to wait until February until I was gifted it. But shout out to Sussex Squad. They gifted me an Audible, and that was the best thing. I know that. Yeah. And let me tell you, that was the best format because to listen to Harry's voice and all the inflections and intonations and the accents, he imitates his father's voice so comically and so well. You know, especially when he was recounting the story about his father's doing his handstands in his bedroom in his boxers. And Harry said, if you place one finger on the doorknob, no, don't open. Oh God, don't open. That cracked me up. So, I can imagine Charles in his drawers going, no, don't open the door. That was hilarious. And I can foresee this Audible winning an Emmy. I mean, it's just fantastic. But some points that were quite poignant to me was the episode about burying the unborn child. Yeah, and that moved me because the visual of Harry's there in the ground digging a hole with his bare hand. Can you imagine how powerful that image is? That's a powerful image. So, you haven't gotten that far, eh?
No, not yet. But I mean, I basically like know everything that is in the book. I just haven't like read it for myself.
First, I'm gonna spoil you to hell because you're taking too long anyway. So, but that was a powerful scene, him having to dig a hole in the ground, to secretly bury their unborn child. That was just moving. But the epilogue, no, I'm spoiling it again for you, so I'm sorry. But like I said, you're taking too long.
Okay, well, we won't, because I know there's a lot of people in the chat that haven't read it, so we
really
won't
still.
Yeah. There's a couple. I've seen a couple of comments today. People saying they still haven't got the book and they haven't been looking on social, so we won't. Yeah, we won't spoil too much.
Okay, so anyway, the article, Harry's voice and inflection was just fantastic. He does accent so well, and his intonations are fantastic. But it's a very good read. I'm so happy to get it. But I think the episode Harry pulled out of this evil conspiracy they have there, it's just going to leave Charles and Camilla versus William and Kate. And they're going to eventually be attacking each other. If they want to continue the system, they're going to end up being fighting against each other.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think that's where it is going to go, because who else do they have to fight against now? Harry and Meghan are minding their own business. The tide is turning, and the royal rota system has been exposed. Let me just also ask you, as an American, how aware were you of the rota system and the press and the relationship between the royals? How aware were you of that relationship?
Not at all. I was not. Meghan marrying into that family really gave us a lot of insight into what was going on, because when she was there and we started following and how Sussex Squad was formed, that's how we got really involved in knowing what was going on. I had no idea. So of course, prior to that, you just believe what the English press said, But once you become involved and the system, you've been around a lot, enough, then you realize, oh, this is all BS. Because I'm telling you, early Squad days was just really, really nerve-wracking, and you're angry and like, how could they be lying, and why would they do this, and what do you do? So of course, eventually find out there's a conspiracy there. So so no, we weren't aware. I don't think many of the Americans were aware. I don't even think many English people were aware of this invisible contract.
Yes, of course. Oh, thank you so much, Siggy.
Cheers.
Thank you. Have a lovely day.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, Janet, you are the last caller for today.
Hello.
Hi, I can hear you.
Hi. This is my first time calling in, and I'm really excited to speak to you guys. Hi, Anne. Hi, everybody.
Excited to have you on.
Well, I have like 5 of the books. I actually gave 3 people, and I'm gonna keep one for myself plus the other book, and I'm gonna give somebody else another one. There's a lot of people, especially Africans or Sierra Leoneans, I'm going to speak for my community, that still haven't gotten the idea yet about Harry and Meghan. They still they're having a mixed feeling about why did she even marry in that family. She should know better. She's not wanted in that family. And what I understand that there's some people that are going to join the ship anyway, so we just have to leave them out and keep it moving. But overall, the book is, oh my God, it's outstanding. People are just making fuss of the book because they don't want to understand it. They do understand, but they pretend like they don't understand what the book is about. the book gave us a great insight about what it's like to be in that family. And we don't care. I don't care about the royals, never did. But when Tina and Michelle started doing the podcast, because I was so in love with those two people, and people were telling me like, you need to do a podcast, because all we hear about is Harry and Meghan, Harry and Meghan, because I thought they were gonna kill her. And I'm like, oh my God, this girl, how is she sleeping? She's gonna die, because of everything that was going on. But I'm grateful at least Harry have able to tell the wife that they need to get out of there, even though people have a hard time that Harry could make decision. But I'm so excited they're out of there. The book said it all. And I don't want to say much about the book because I read the book, and also the audio. I also read, I also listened to a couple of section of the audio, especially the one with the Master of My Soul, whatever it's called. I keep going to 2, 3, and 8 and 10 back and forward. And I think we still have a long way to go, because I don't think this is going to finish anytime soon. So if other people who are willing to open podcasts, we're here to support and to keep this going, because I hope and you're not tired in the next 5 years, because I still think we have a lot to go, because these people are not going to give up. And one thing that I think I understand with Harry opening the door for his family, some family, I'm hoping, since he has a great network of people who are surrounded him, some of them are not in the open because they don't want to be having fingers to be pointed on them. So they stay in the background. Oprah has an issue with family issue, mother, sister, and stuff like that. She knew how she dealt with that problem. So I think Harry might have to go into that and listen. Some family member, you just cannot help him. They're gonna be who they are regardless. And if you let them in, they're gonna destroy you. So I hope he's thinking twice, or whatever he's saying is just a strategy for them to leave them alone. But otherwise, if that door is gonna be open like that or crack halfway, it's not gonna be healthy. I have one question for you. What is a bee, a wasp, and a fly?
But what is a
A bee, a wasp, and a fly. Harry was talking about the bee, the wasp, and the fly.
I okay, I don't think I'm at that part of the book, so I'm not quite sure what you're referring to.
He was talking about when they had the Sandringham summit, when um they already made up their mind before, when the summit, that what they were going to do. So regardless, whatever him and his wife wanted, they were not going to give it to them anyway. So they already pre-printed something, the paper that was going to go out in the public to let people know this is what the decision is going to be. So he
Right.
was talking about the bee, the fly, the wasp, whatever those things are. Who are those people supposed to represent? I know they represent
Okay.
him, but I don't know what they are.
Okay, I think I'll have to get to the part of the book and then give you my thoughts about that, unless anybody in the comment section wants to answer Janet's question. But unfortunately, I can't answer that question for you. But thank you so much, Janet, for calling in. Much
Thank you.
appreciated.
You're doing a great job. Please keep it up
Oh,
as long as you can.
thank you. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
thanks. Bye.
Bye. Okay, just before we finish, I just wanted to mention, because I don't think I did mention it at the beginning of the podcast. Yes, the first hearing for the Daily Mail court case is scheduled for March the 27th. So, claimants Baroness Lawrence of Clarendon, I believe that is Stephen Lawrence's mother. She is actually a baroness, which adds an interesting dimension to this, because we know that there's a relationship between the royals and the Daily Mail, and she has a royal honor. Also, actress Liz Hurley, Sir Elton John, David Furnish, his partner, Sir Simon Hughes, Harry, and Sadie Frost, who I think is a British actress. So that kicks off on March the 27th. The Daily Fail had tried to delay this, but it hasn't worked. Oh, so we can expect a lot of tantrums being thrown, everything being thrown at the wall to distract from that going into late March. So we will know what to expect by now, so get ready. And with that, thank you as always, everyone. I'll just end with your comments and then we'll call it a day. Wishing you all a fabulous weekend, and thanks all of our callers, the mods, and all of you for showing up and showing out as you always do. Right. Oh, Boney, so the bee, the wasp, and the flies are the courtiers. That makes sense. Yes, the queen's advisors, or different personalities within the palaces. Those bugs work for the queen. Hilarious. Marina, Harry should love his family from a distance. Well, I guess he kind of is. I mean, they're all the way over in Montecito. Yes, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, please. Help the algorithm. All right. Who is going to get the last word of the day? Oh, Baron is on in 60 minutes. Thank you so much for letting us know. Head over to Baron's house, Baron's party. All right. Nadia, I will give you the last word of the day. Do enjoy a restful and relaxing weekend. Yes, please do, everybody. Go head over to Baron, and I will see you maybe tomorrow. If not, definitely Sunday. All right. Ciao.
Love's for beginners, ain't no winners. It slips through your fingers. I ain't telling no lies. So F all the drama, F the karma. Just do what you wanna. Promise you got time. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being old mama, yeah, to yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Come get your future. Know you wanna, she'll never betray ya. She ain't telling no lies. So break the glass ceiling. Find your meaning, make truth out of dreaming. Yeah. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being old mama, yeah, to yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being old mama, yeah, to yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby,
And we've got some breaking news on that book by Prince Harry, Spare as it's called. It is the UK's fastest selling non-fiction book on record, we are hearing. And it's sold figures of 400,000 copies so far. That's across hardback, ebook, audio formats. On its first day of publication, 400,000 copies have been sold. The Transworld Penguin Random House, the publisher, said, quote, "We always knew this book would fly, but it is exceeding even our most bullish expectations. As far as we know, the only books to have sold more in their first day are those starring the other Harry, i.e. Harry Potter. But according to the latest data we have, it is the fastest UK selling non-fiction book on record." And Harry was paid $20 million for that book, we are told. So the publishers are getting a bit of their money back already.